All right. Well, tonight we're working on the Lockjaw Night Watch patch. So, get started. Let's get everything up. And this is my first live video, so. All right. A lot of learning today. All right. So the patch we're going for is the Night Watch. I'm going to start off by showing my little everyday carry, just for fun. But I actually take these ones with me every day. I go to work or whatnot in my free time, actually, to play with them quite a bit. The end goal for this today is to end up with another one of the many patches out there. There's the blue whale. Packlock has one for their 90A Pro. And for Lockjaw, 3 purple locks in under 10 minutes picked and gutted, and 20 of any locks picked in 5 minutes or less, of course. So that gets you the basics. Also, I learned of a new challenge that's out there as of like 2 days ago. So I'm going to try that one real quick while we're at it too. So my everyday carry. This stuff goes with me everywhere. It is mostly covert instruments. Consists of the Reaper set, and then some of the Genesis set pieces, as well as some individuals that I purchased, some jigglers, and actually some of Sparrow's monkey paws. The thin monkey paws do wonders for me on certain locks. But all right, let me see. Let me get this out of here. All right. Oh, let's get this out of the way. No, it's one of these sitting around. And to be fair, right now it is horribly, super warm where I'm at. Super warm. So, I'm sweating like crazy. All right. Oh, actually, I need to tell you too. It is, I don't know if you can see it, it's 11:15. So the night watch starts at 11 and has to be done between 11 and 7 a.m. So we will bust through that real quick. And this little wonderful thing here, another little puzzle game for all that matters, became a short addiction. And then my brother-in-law and I started playing with locks a little over a year and a half ago or so. And we found ourselves both knee deep in a ton of locks, ton of different picks, so many things to play with. First thing today, let's see if we can do the one-handed challenge. So like I said, this started just a couple days ago. I wrote down the person's name. It is Lock Picking Engineer. So if you look them up on YouTube, you can find out all the rules and whatnot to doing it. But it's a green belt lock, single hand picked, and then gutted to prove that, you know, everything's legit inside. So we're gonna try this. No guarantees. Especially right now, I am very shiny and sweaty. But I don't know how these guys do it. I've seen a couple of them doing these things. One hand is not easy anyway. And I know this lock quite well. It's filled with spools. So no. That was just probably an overset. All right. Let's try a different angle. Maybe a little more relaxed angle. I am using the Covert's tensioner and the Sparrow Monkey Paw. I think it's considered the .015. This is their deep hook. This thing does me real well on the American locks, 1100s and whatnot. I can still play off the bottom, get all the feel. Come on. And like I said, normally it's not one-handed either. So also, it's Tuesday, so it's Lotto Lock Tuesday. So if I can get this wonderful thing going, this may have to be a different, video. I am way too shiny, sweaty right now. So that's all right though. I don't know about everybody else, but I've acquired enough locks and whatnot that I actually have multiple ammo cans scattered, filled with locks. So let's start with the old traditional Master Lock 410s. Such a variety of different locks in here. I know that's not even crazy ones in there. But there we go. So, and even with these, I don't know how familiar everybody is with the 410s. There's actually 2 different keyways. So let's see if I can get this to show up in the video. But that's a 401 key, and I believe these are considered 400s. Let's make a nice little mess here. Get some of these things open at least. So, forever ago, my brother and I were talking about starting a business up. It was going to be a little online thing, whatever. Things didn't pan out, which is fine. Things happen. But I decided that I wanted to be called ElroyzToyz, and that's where this name came from. So I actually started with this name, we're 2025, so 25 years ago. As crazy as that is, but first one open. So first lotto open. Lock it so we don't get a rattler out of it. All right. And of course my computer just switched screens on me. One of my coworkers, really nice guy, has a 3D printer. And I found this little guy back here, and he hooked me up. He came back over the weekend, handed me my new little mascot. All right. Now back to these lottos. If you're new into the lotto locks, the second keyway I've shown, I believe it's the 400 or 400B, are actually more forgiving. It's more open, so you can do a wider variety of picks and whatnot. There. Another one. And then same thing. Monkey paw, 0.015. Whatever tension you can find to fit in these things. They all vary quite a bit. But this one's one of the tighter ones, but you can get all the way to the bottom, and right off the bottom. I typically will poke around at all the pins, find a little false set, keep tapping them all, get into a little false set. Once you get that false set going, where are you at? And some of these are a booger. Once you get that false set going, usually you've won the battle. And I'll be fair, I've been up since 4. I work early in the morning, so doing this late video is a bit after my bedtime. And I'm actually not in the house in the AC because the family's sleeping right now. So, but like I said, and they vary from one lock to the other. Some of these guys really like a hard tension. You have to push through some of the serrations. Let me see if I can click. Push through some of the serrations, and then you can work your way through the spools afterwards. Just be careful not to get caught underneath some of the warding and accidentally reset yourself, thinking that you're playing with a spool. I'm not going to spend too much time on ones that don't want to fight. So, I see a lot of people doing videos lately with the 80 Ti 50. Great lock. I usually use my number 4 Reaper, and the tensioner that came with the Reaper set, which is my 40, which I think I buried under all these guys somewhere. Oh well, let's see if I don't think the 50 fits. Nope, no 50. All right, so we're gonna go a little lighter. See if that works. What I've noticed with these ones, I've had 2 of them. On mine here, my first pin, hear that click? And got some rotation. My second lock like this, it's the very last pin. Does the same exact thing though. Once you get that first rotation going, usually you're good to go. Get that in there. This one, kind of usually walk one after another on this one and come back for 1 or 2 that reset. But like I said, being out here in the heat, I may be just fighting myself. Feel that spool. There it goes. But great lock, love it. Definitely a comfort lock. Also, Lockjaw from their site has these U.S. mail registered locks. Super cool. Takes a lot of tension to get them. But they actually have a number, so every time you pop one of these things open, the number changes. Can't go back. It's their way, the way they used to do things. They lock it up, know what number it's on, send the mail, make sure it's still on that same number, proof that it wasn't tampered. You know, nobody tampered with it. So, pretty neat. A little piece of history. I was looking at dates on these, and I believe this version doesn't have the bezel, so I believe this one was from the 70s, 60s on up, or newer. But this one, right, come on. There it goes. So, let's see it. It's 454, and it will never be 454 again. Done. Super cool lock. I actually bought 3 of them from them just because they're so cool. People just starting out, don't get yourself frustrated. I've been doing this for a little bit. Some days the locks open right up for you, some days they don't. Great example is today. I actually had one of my coworkers ask me, he's like, oh, you know, you do these lock things. I left my keys at home. I can't get in my toolbox. I work at a dealership. Go out there, and I don't want to do anything major. You know, I play with it a little bit, but I don't want to put too much pressure. I don't want a chance of damaging anything. You know, it's not mine, it's his. And, you know, it's as simple as him going 20 minutes down the road and going, getting his keys. But I tried. It didn't open. You know, kind of felt bad because, you know, been doing this for a while, and you know, I hate to say it failed, but it was a wafer lock. It was an active lock in his toolbox, and I wasn't going to chance breaking something. So so be it. But it happens. What are you gonna do? These little master locks, great little locks to start with. Even now, these guys will sometimes give me some guff. So, big trick is trying to find the right tensioner for any of your locks. This particular lock I've done enough times that I like to use the bottom of the keyway with the 40, and actually the McTickler number 2 Reaper. Get in there, just little movements, a little click out of there, go back and forth, find the next one, click. Eventually, find that right one. Oop, there you go. So that one's open. I noticed a lot of the master locks run that same way. Can't always use the number 2 because it depends on what the bitting of the key is, but that particular one doesn't have deep cuts. Also, I found this body. We'll call it the body. The Avis 8345 is made to take kick cylinders, KIK cylinders, key and knob. So it comes hollowed out, empty. It comes with the piece to hold it in, and you put your own cylinder in there. So this one is a Schlag 6 pin. I'll practice with this guy too, but I can't emphasize enough no matter how far out you are up the chain, go back and play with these locks. Some of these guys just they'll trip you up once in a while. Don't move too fast. I hate to say it's kind of like golf. You're beating yourself right now. That's all you're doing. If you're lock sporting, you're locksmithing, that's a whole different story. You do you. But I like to use the number 3 when it comes to at least this style cylinder, this keyway, and I'll ride the side of the Warden on an angle, and the number 3 is just the right height that when it hits a pin that needs moved, it's stiff. So I can hit that one. A weird angle trying to show it, but and it clicks. Go down till you find the next one that does the same thing. So it's the 5th one, I think, right here I'm feeling, and that was a little movement. 6th one, a little bit. I think that was 3. And number 2. So number 2 was the last one. Got it open. Another fun lock, You can find the kick cylinders, eBay or whatever, usually pretty cheap, pretty reasonable. And then you've got your body, which is a $20, $30 body. You can just keep switching them out, Way you're not taking up as much space with a gazillion locks. I mean, I've got 1, 2, 6 ammo cans, I believe, full, and then 2 bigger tool bags with locks in it. Not to mention another big tool bag filled with just different brands, different picks, and so on. These are my go-to. The Sparrow, Monkey Paws, love them. The Covert Instruments, the Reaper set. I found that set and fell in love. I bought so many extras of each one of those picks because I'll sit there and just beat them up till they're bent upside down. Great stuff. What else? Jimmy Longs. I've got them. They're thin also, like the monkey paws. I just usually use the monkey paws in here for my carry just because of they're being thin. It's easier to carry in this. But the Jimmy Longs are great. They come in a roll. They're no complaints at all. None at all. Uh, Actually, kind of cool. Yesterday, I started messing with some of these guys. I got a lock set. Um, I ran into somebody on Facebook and actually made a set, sent it to me. Took me a minute to understand them exactly. I thought in my head I had an understanding how levered locks worked, but YouTube is such a great resource. Utilize as much as you can. I ended up finding somebody that had they made cutaways with a clear front, and I actually seen what the levers actually look like, and then things just started clicking. Like, oh, absolutely. So use the resources. Don't be afraid. Don't be embarrassed or any of that. Use everything you can because it's there. We've got more at our fingertips now than we ever have. Which, before I do this, I'll show you one more thing. Speaking of the wonderful internet, same guy that made Elroy for me, just the other day, came in and gave me all this stuff. He's 3D printed, so you can put it in your vise or hold it in your hand. You know, this is for kick cylinders, or no, what is it? Small frame SFIC cylinders. Same thing. That one's for a kick cylinder. This is for kick cylinders you can hold in your hand. That was for a vise. Euro cylinders. It's got even got the cutout for the little flap to go back and forth. Once again, these are for vise. Your mortise cylinders. They actually make them for that too. Perfect little doohickey to hold in your hand and run with as well. But super great. Him and I were talking about it, and he's like, "Well, I know there's a couple sites. I just need to know if somebody's got what you want." And with that said, it was Maker's World and Printables. But the key word when you're looking for this stuff, don't look up cylinder holders, lock holders. Put in lock sport. So many more things came up. We had 2 or 3 things show up, and like, what are we gonna do? Or, you know, I'm like, well, let's just play with the names. Pulled up lock sport, pages of stuff you can print. So don't be shy. Go at it. You know, if your buddy's got a 3D printer and can help you out, that's awesome. If you got a 3D printer, I mean, you've got the resource. No reason to not have them. But I got these tools, and like I said, the biggest thing I noticed is I wasn't holding enough tension. It takes a ton of tension on these things. I just got that. It's just crazy. I was way under tension. Maybe I was thinking like a regular lock or whatever. I was worried about breaking the tool. You know, I bent tensioners. I broke tensioners. Now I say it broke. I only broke one tensioner. But with these locks here, you know, I don't know enough about them, so it's, you know, I'm a little weary about them. So, but yep, heavy tension, and then it's basically, this one's a 4 lever, so there's 4 levers in there. You gotta find out which one's got the tension on it, kind of put it up and get her in the gate. But now if I want to show you again, it's gonna be stubborn. I'll start that over again anyway. I am not sure what the temperature is outside right now, but it is just nasty humid right now. I'm in, we'll say mid-Michigan area, so, but, yeah, cool locks. Look into them. Biggest thing is finding somebody to make you tools, or who's making tools out there. I really didn't look into it initially. Another one of my friends that I met on Facebook and Reddit and whatnot, he's into them. He's talking about the Chubb Battleship and all that. It's, awesome. So I ended up ordering some of these guys. And he connected me with the person that makes this. And if he's all right with it, I'll find out and ask him if he minds if I put his name out there, because he's an individual. He's not a business. So also, I've in the past have played with leather and whatnot. So I've seen people with their locks. They don't always have the rubber there. They're beating it up. So same thing. Get a piece of leather and put something in there. Well, I decided I know how to do it. Why not make it a little fancier? So went from that, carved her out, used a $50 to get my corners around. By the time it was all done, dyed it. I got stamps, so I stamped everything on it. And these are the end result. One is going to my buddy in Waco. You see it's up there. And then the second one is going to Lady Locks. But I might be making more of them down the road. Who knows? We'll see. But for the first time, I hope I didn't bore everybody too much. Let's see. Covered my daily carries. Be careful of the addiction. You may just end up with boxes and boxes of locks. But have fun with it. Take your time. There's no reason to rush. Find what you like and play with it. Like I said, I've got a little bag, and I've carried the same ones mostly with me each day to work, because those are my comfort locks. That's the ones, if I got 2 seconds, who cares? I can mess with it. If I got to put it down and it gets reset, I don't care. I'm at work, so, to be fair. But that's pretty much it. Be careful. This thing's addictive too. It'll sucker you in. Next thing you know, hey, you'll have that smaller one and the next size up and so on. But those of you who watched, I appreciate it. Thank you. And this is definitely a learning experience. I'll try this again. Let's see. And thank you. See you guys next time.